Hello everyone, my name is Elena Shevchuk and this is Lookup channel. Today I will tell you about the three most important events of the last few days in the context of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Today is May 29 and it is the 460th day of the full-scale war in Ukraine. On Friday, the Republican senator, a prominent critic of the Russian authorities and a supporter of increased aid to Ukraine, discussed with Ukrainian leaders the war with Russia and the supply of weapons. Zelensky told him the war for Ukraine is under the slogan "Live free or die." Graham said he was visiting on the 457th day of a war that Russia had assumed would be completed within 3 days. And Graham said Ukrainians resisting the invasion reminded him of our better selves in America. There was a time in America that we were this way, fighting to the last person. We were going to be free or die. Now you are free, Zelensky responded, and we will be. Graham replied, and the Russians are dying. He described the help as the best money we've ever spent. Zelensky then added, yes, but they came to our territory. We are not fighting on their territory. Nevertheless, in Moscow, more than a day after the publication, the video was interpreted as what Graham called the killing of Russians and helping Ukraine the best US investment. Peskov and other Russian officials directly linked Graham's praise for the benefits of US assistance to his comments on Russians dying in the conflict. Reuters has reviewed the full transcript of the meeting between US Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy. Journalists found out that Graham did not say that the death of the Russians is the best thing we have ever spent money on. Deputy Chairman Dmitry Medvedev called Graham a 67-year-old Republican and all-fooled man. The head of the investigative committee, Alexander Bastrykin, instructed to open a criminal case against the US senator, and already on Monday morning, a message appeared in the wanted list of the Ministry of Internal Affairs that he had been put on the wanted list under an article of the Criminal Code. Meanwhile, in Kyiv, Monday began with a massive missile attack. Here in this video, a fragment of a rocket just falls on the road while people go on business. This is what the center of Europe looks like in the 21st century. This is how Russia demonstrates its special military operation. On May 29, an air alert was announced in the capital and Kyiv region after 11 a.m. Later, explosions rang out in the city. In this video, children from school are running to the shelter after the intense explosions. Since mid-April, almost every night, the Russians have been launching Iranian kamikaze drones and various types of missiles at Ukraine. Most of all, they pay attention to Kyiv as the most protected city with the strongest Western anti-aircraft defense. The night from May 25 to 26 was no exception. That night, country Russia delivered another massive attack on the territory of Ukraine, using 54 kamikaze drones, most of which flew at Kyiv. However, thanks to the air defense forces, 52 drones were shot down. Today, in the Kharkiv region, the Russians launched a missile attack on the village of Kevsharivka, Kupiansk district. 3 elderly women were injured. A pregnant woman, 14-year-old teenager and a 10-year-old child were injured. A dormitory, 2 private houses and a gas pipeline were damaged. Over the weekend, the story about Russia's placement of nuclear weapons in Belarus, that is on the very border with the European Union, continued. Self-proclaimed President of Belarus Alexander Lukashenko has said that Russia will provide nuclear weapons to any countries that join the Union State of Russia and Belarus. Recently, the President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, criticized the approachment between Minsk and Moscow, separately mentioning the strange decision about nuclear weapons, which the Russian Federation and Belarus now have 1 for 2. In this comment, Lukashenko directly answered the leader of Kazakhstan. If someone is worried, well, I don't think that Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is worried about this. But if suddenly, then no one has anything against Kazakhstan and other countries having the same close relations as we have with the Russian Federation. And it is very simple. You need to enter into an alliance between Russia and Belarus. All. And there will be nuclear weapons on everyone, Lukashenko said. He emphasized that this is only his personal opinion, not the opinion of the Russian side.
Союзное государство, но я по достоинству оценил его шутку. Я думаю, что необходимости в этом нет, поскольку существует
At the same time, the Belarusian dictator said that today we have a unique chance to unite, without clarifying to whom exactly he is addressing. This is how events are developing now in Europe, the eastern part of which has been in a state of war for 460 days since Russia attacked Ukraine on February 24. It was the Look Up channel. I am Olena Shevchuk. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow. And subscribe to know what is happening in this part of the world.